for potential trade opportunities rather than just relying on seasonality as one piece of data. All right, so it's always a good idea to combine it with what you see on the chart. And by the way, I just want to say this, that I personally think that looking at the NASDAQ right now, given what it did on Friday, for example, I mean, just in a previous video, I'd said this, in a previous video about a couple of weeks back, I think it was, I said, look, the NASDAQ could be forming this head and shoulder reversal pattern. So that's the head. And I said this might be the two shoulders. Given what the NASDAQ did last week, made a strong jump higher, I think that pattern, that negative pattern is not going to be negated. All right. So as I said in the previous video, if the markets do the opposite of what we expect, we have to quickly change our minds. One of the worst habits of traders and most people in general is confirmation bias, or as psychologists call it, cognitive dissonance. In other words, they look at a chart like this about the seasonality of the stock markets, saying that, oh, June has a bearish bias, and then they look at the chart and they try to confirm their bias or assumptions. That's wrong. All right. What you should always do is look for any signals that actually are contrary to what you believe to avoid any confirmation bias. All right, guys. So I personally think that that's head and shoulder pattern is not going to be negated. I think that actually more likely than not looks quite bullish to me on the NASDAQ. And the same applies with Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin, look, as far as I'm concerned, as long as Bitcoin is holding itself above the February-April lows, there's no reason to suspect that seasonality pattern is going to repeat itself. But if Bitcoin does fall below its February-April lows, as you can see there, then I think, yes, that seasonal pattern we just saw could certainly come into play. All right, guys, hope this video has helped. And if it has, please give it a thumbs up. And also, please remember to subscribe to our...
So highly recommend his channel. Alessio Rastani has some great information, and it's a pleasure to share his information. I have been following his channel for over a year. I learn a lot of information, and I am going to agree with him, but for me, I don't believe as strongly as trends, and I do feel like sometimes trends are very, very hard to predict. And for me personally, I just like to go with the commitment that I'm basically saving money and I'm putting aside money. So the way that I approach this is that I'm just trying to average my buys in, and the money that I am investing, it's money that if it was sitting in my checking account, I'd probably go spend it on something stupid, go out for drinks or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can burn money. So for my crypto investments, I look at it as kind of like I'm forcing myself to spend less money or less of my disposable income, and I'm putting it into this crypto because whether it goes up or not, I don't care. I'm here more for the lesson of how to learn how to invest, take advantage of a new emerging market. And like I said, for me, I just like the idea of averaging in. So if the price shoots up, great. I'm going to obviously make some money. But like he said, if the price continues to go down and it is a bearish market, well, I'm going to continue to buy because my belief is that it will easily long-term go back to the all-time high, which is 850 billion. And if possible, with proper regulation and the introduction of a cryptocurrency ETF, I could see the prices going up more than 850 billion, going over $1 trillion. I wouldn't be surprised to see a $20,000 Bitcoin, a $25,000 Bitcoin. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ethereum back to 1,500 or 1,400. I don't know if it hit that high, but it did definitely hit 1,200. So for me, I think any kind of buy right now is a good deal. But like I said, I only have a limited amount of capital, so I want to be buying it at lower prices. And the easier way for me to do this is just set limit orders. And if the price goes below a certain amount on my limit order, it'll execute on its own. And like I said, I'm taking some of my disposable income and putting a little bit away each month into crypto. And if it hits a certain price, great, I'm going to buy some more. If it doesn't, it's okay. That money is going into crypto, whether there's going to be a dip or, like I said, I might have to wait a year or two to buy again. So that money will just be waiting for the next dip. But it seems like what he's saying is that we should see another dip and we should see prices go back down to the low. But if it doesn't happen, it's no big deal. But let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys soon.